Yo, check it, got that new fire straight from the underground. What you need? This that real hip hop.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
Establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, it's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out.
You don't let everyone into your home.
Should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then, anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence, happening to white people and white children. And so...
specifically sort of motivated by racism against white people. What sort of things? The heavens are about to...
Yeah.
I'd like to continue talking, but the rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning. This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL. What they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work. To join RTTL...
You know what's funny about this? And I just have to say this and we'll get right back to it because this is very interesting, but there's already an all-white community like this, and they're called Amish. I've never seen a black Amish person. I've never seen an Asian Amish person. I've never seen anyone other than a white person be Amish. Never seen it. Now, I'm saying I've never seen it. That does not mean it does not exist. And if it does, I would love to see it. But what I'm trying to say is there's absolutely nothing wrong with what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with it. Having the ability to do so is what makes it their right to do so. That's it. You get a bunch of people together that want to put money down on some land and build and grow. By all means, I feel like everyone should be able to do that. Blacks can do it, Asians can do it, Hispanics can do it, but the fact that there is a group of white people doing it, it is labeled and, looked at, but wanting to keep things that you deem important, you might have to step away from everyone else and do that. And is it because you can't go over there is the problem? Is that what it is? Like, would you like to? But why would you? Because they said you can't? Is that what it is? I'm not sure, but let's get back to it.
You have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. And there are strict criteria for membership, as Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here, explains.
You have to be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of European heritage.
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage. It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted on ethnicity and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Those shares translate to acres of land that they can build on. Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is a way around it.
Yeah,
Do you think it'll survive contact with the legal system, the courts, if it came to that?
hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term? Do you embrace it?
I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore. Like it's you call it racist.
Agreed.
A prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually, the modern definition of racism, according to critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
Okay, so you see how they tried to have a quick conversation about racism and what it means. It's definitely has changed, and people like to play on words. That is one thing Americans are great at. All Americans, as a unit, we will take a word and pass it around and play with it. It goes from having one distinct meaning to meaning something different for every person who says it or every community it comes in contact with. It happens all the time. Um, Now, there are people out there who truly feel like this is racist. But my thing is this, right? Let them say what they want and do what they want. But the biggest thing is, as long as they're not preaching and teaching hate of another culture, another race, as long as that's not the basis of the teaching to hate and fear, because through fear will come hate. It's just how it goes. Through fear will come hate. As long as they're not preaching any of that, it truly does not matter. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It's a group of people who just so happen to look alike, who share the same ideas, and they want to be able to do that in their own little section of land. Just point it out where that's wrong. I wish you can get a black people together to do this successfully. I wish. I would love to see that. I wish you can get just a group of people, more than 5 or 6 together, and have them share the same idea and look at forward progress. It's to be honest, to be 100% honest, the violence and the hate and the fear is what caused segregation to be as bad as it was and the separation to be as awful as it was. See, back in the 50s and the 60s and the 40s and the 30s and, prior to those times, when you separated and segregated, it was out of hate and out of fear. Both of those fueled each other. And so that's why you saw the things you saw, you got the things you got. But if all they're saying is, hey, can we just pull away from this because there are some things that is being taught that we don't agree with. There are things that are being accepted in society as a whole that we don't agree with. I'm I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. How do you point that out and say we all 200 of us don't agree with this? We would prefer to go this way. Do you not know that is how when the United States was founded and the 13 colonies were first started? That right there, what they're doing right now, is how people went west. This right here, not agreeing and saying, you know what, we'll go in another direction. We'll do something different. This is it. This is how they did that. So, yes, history does repeat itself. Maybe this doesn't go the violent route. where the country is torn into and violence between two different cultures is represented as the segregation. Maybe. Maybe you can see just how powerful you are in a group of people that look like you and think like you, and see how strong you can be when you come together. See, that, I'm all for that. And as a black man, I would love to see a black community be built that's holding on to strong ideas and pushing for better. It just so happens that they're white. I mean, a lot of it's hard to sit here and say that they're wrong when one, you don't exactly know what it is that they're teaching and speaking to one another. If they're not displaying open face what used to be classified as racism, it's just pure hatred for someone without a full understanding of that person. See, that's how I look at it. You have no idea what that person is, but you have a small inclination because a small percent of people that you don't agree with look like them and have done things that you don't agree with. So you classify everyone that looks like that as that person. That's racism. Stereotyping follows that, but stereotypes are usually based in some sort of truth. And then it's just a full on, well, they all do it. That's stereotyping. But to hate and fear someone just because they look different and they remind you of something that you don't care for, that's racism. How do you not how do you not agree with wanting more for your community? They have the means to do it. They're within their legal right to do it. I say let them do it. Let them do it. Does it take money away from you? Does it hurt you in any way, shape, or form? What does them doing this do to you and your everyday life? If you can say nothing, what is stopping you from doing this? It's food for thought, honestly. What is stopping you from doing this? What is stopping us from doing this? And think about this. What if it was a community of people who didn't look the same? Black, white, brown, Asian, whatever. Whole group of different people, but they share the same ideas. What about that? Is that still wrong? I don't know, man. It's food for thought. It's definitely worth having a conversation. And if you feel like it's worth having for real, let me know because we can. This is a whole video. It's a 26-minute video. We're just showing a quick little clip, and I'm gonna play a little bit more before I get up out of here for you. If you like this, tune in. If not, it's all right. Comment section is open. You know what to do. But yeah, I don't really see much wrong with this. I know a bunch of people do. A bunch of people do. But let them do their thing and see where it goes.
A lot of this is reaction to left-wing identity politics, critical race theory, and movements like Black Lives Matter. And fundamentally, this is identity politics, but white identity politics. And what they're building here is a safe space for people of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary, it's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Is that fair?
Probably.
While the men labour at the roadside, the women of Return to the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full time. And they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
Back in the day, when we first got the land here, there were only about 5 guys. I was living 40 minutes from here, and Jennifer was the first, family to be on the land full time. So we started community dinners back then, and it would be pretty relaxed because there weren't many people. But it is nice. It's slowly growing. So
They've come here to live for a variety of reasons, but their dedication to the mission is absolute.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I. I'm 32.
Cool.
I'm a lady.
My name's Allison, A-L-I-S-O-N. I'm 29.
Right.
and Caitlin, C-A-I-T-L-I-N. I'm 31.
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well,
That we hate everyone else.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about that
Yeah,
by any means.
it's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. If other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense.
Perfect.